Oh, shit. I can do this real quick before anybody comes in. That's gonna do. Well, since nobody's made it in yet, and I didn't do any preemptive. Oh, here we go. Hey, from Saskatchewan, how's it going, man? Sorry to just bring this upon everybody who's gonna tune into this into the future, but yeah, just surprise live stream. Haven't talked to y'all in quite a bit, and I'm trying to get the camera here figured out. How's it going? And okay, everything's gonna be backwards because I have the front-facing camera towards me, so I can see y'all's chats. And thank you for tuning in from Saskatchewan. But no, just want to do a pop-up Q&A, if you will. Chat all necessary Here we go. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick, or more or less, just talk with you guys. I've been gone for a couple months, so we're gonna update you on the channel. Haven't seen y'all in a bit, so I wish. God damn it! Almost got it. I'm in the middle of painting my 6.5 dash body color, building a sick 97 2500. Sweet, awesome, man. Friggin', I am currently in the process of building a 97 crew cab, but we have a bit to go over. So hi from, oh, for fuck's sake, I wish it. Oh, chat. So much this is. It may not be visible. Alright, show me. Hi from Quebec. How's it going? So yeah, just waiting for some more people to come in just to go over kind of what's been going on in the background. You guys haven't seen me in a hot minute. It's sold a few things. Got quite a bit out of the driveway. Plans for selling things in the future. Plans for building things in the future. It's just been absolutely hectic. So yeah, I just thought I'd go over some things with y'all since I haven't made a video in the past couple months. So thank y'all for tuning in. But how is everybody's day going? It's kind of overcast right now. It's late in the afternoon, so yeah, haven't talked to you guys in quite a while, and I hate to say that because I haven't even been looking at my Facebook messages, which has got, like, I am sure a bunch of people pissed off, but life gets in the way. So family comes first for me, and if I don't have the time, so be it. But few things been happening around the old house here. My old 97 crew cab, the one that y'all know and love on most of my videos, we turned it into scrap yesterday, unfortunately. Long story short, just didn't have the money to save it, but I do have this crew cab getting ready to get started on. Its frame is over here. I can show you guys around here in a little bit if you'd like to see that, but looking to build that crew cab soon. Sold the wife's Wolverine, if you didn't know about that project. Wind up just fixing up and selling it for a profit. nothing really spectacular going on there. Just she is currently pregnant again, so there's no way that she was going to be able to have time to ride it. So we just wind up getting rid of it. Oh, keep an eye on my channel for 6.5 bills. I turn. How's that, man? I'll keep my eye open. Yeah. So we got rid of the Wolverine. The Warrior will be going up for sale here in the near future. Um, the wife's dually will be going up for sale. I know I said in a previous video that we wouldn't ever be getting rid of it, but obviously the family is growing, so we will parting ways with the extended cabs shortly. Absolutely love that dually, and I've got to do a little bit of work to it, just for peace of mind, if anything. Fix a couple of the leaks, and we'll be getting rid of that. I will be hanging on to the extended cab, more than likely until the crew cab is built. And then I might be building it and either doing a giveaway or just selling it outright. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing any of that, but it stands where I will be doing a full build series on the crew cab. I've got all the suspension parts sitting right there behind my phone. The frame's over there, just waiting. Yeah, so 6.5 content to come. The motor is actually over there sitting in front of the frame, so that will be going through a build series on that. Other than that, family just doing fine. We will be so we are going to be selling the wife's 6.5, but we are going to be upgrading to a crew cab, and that will not be a 6.5. That will be something else. So, yep. Take your guesses as to what you may think it might be. It is going to be a newer truck. It's still going to be diesel. I know a bunch of people would be upset with me, but this channel is not called 6.5 Turbo Diesels. This channel is my name, so I'll work on whatever. But it will primarily be 6.5 content from here on out. But yeah, how have y'all been? And can you hear me all right? If you can't, let me know. I'll try to talk louder. Make more videos, damn it. I am trying. Believe me, I can't find no time, but I am going to be making time, especially on the crew cab. Crew cab's coming up here real shortly, so definitely have a lot of work ahead of me, but already just about halfway through the year, so it's been an ongoing process. With the Smash Crew cab, dealing with that on the back burner. It's almost been a year since that has happened, and we just got it out of the driveway. Sorry, I'm a hair late. Sorry, I'm a hair late. I was refreshing a live page and it wasn't showing up. Damn. Well, this is pretty spontaneous as far as live streams go. I didn't give any warning this time, so I appreciate y'all just being here. And Duramax, close, but no cigar. And keep guessing. wife loves Chevys, but she's always been another make and model at heart, and y'all would probably hate this truck. I like all of them. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not afraid of this one. I've worked on them before. It is a Ford. One dad's battle. Yeah, it's a Ford. So there will be Ford content coming up in the future. If you guys remember my wife's old Power Stroke, it'll be quite an upgrade or downgrade depending on the way you look at it and the way you like fucking engines. Whether you like it or not, but yeah, it's definitely going to be a Ford. So I've always been, yeah, Ford's awesome. Yeah, so she's a Ford girl, so we'll get some Ford stuff on the channel. If anybody was to get a Duramax, it'd be me. But the 6.5s, just letting y'all know, the 6.5s aren't going nowhere. I still got 3 of them for the time being. So, yep, if you're just tuning into this live stream, 8.1 Vortec. What a gas guzzling. Nothing against the 8.1. It's just, nah, I like diesels. And have y'all tried this Ghost stuff? It's pretty tasty. I don't drink very much energy drinks. That's my first one in like 4 weeks. So welcome everybody. Thank you. Seriously, thank you guys for tuning in. I know I gave absolutely no notice on this. It's been a while since I've sat in front of a camera. It's been a while since I've talked to you guys, even commented on some of y'all's comments in the comment section. It's been crazy. And being a new dad, just I am always constantly busy with something, and I need to develop a new schedule in order to create content, and that will be happening here in the near future. Let's get that. So I can actually read this without. There we go. So let's live chat. The shop 6.0 Power Stroke. Yeah, and so that is currently what we're looking at for the wife. A 6.0 or a late model or 2000s 99 to 2000 series 7.3. Either one of those two. Crew cab, long bed, preferred single wheel with 4-wheel drive. That's what we're kind of looking at for her. She's a Ford girl at heart, and I have my problems with Ford products, but Fords are fine. I know a lot of people hate the 6.0, but a lot of people also hate 6.5s. So my channel will just be full of trucks that people hate. And as far as the Power Strokes go, in my opinion, the 6.4 is the king of the shit crown, if you will. It is terrible. So staying away from the 6.4s. 7.3 all the way, all good. I'm just doing plumbing and replacing mobile homes. Dexter, be a beast, yes. So, on the topic of new trucks, yep, wife looking to get a new crew cab, and the 6.0s. The 6.0s are pretty cheap, pretty affordable. So that one will be going up for sale. So if anybody is interested in the wife's dually For the time being, it's on the channel or in my driveway, but that will be going up for sale shortly, relatively shortly, actually. Yeah, but my crew cab 6.5, the one that's in pieces all over the driveway, that one will be getting a full build on it, so stay tuned for that. And then the extended cab that I've been driving around, which I'm sitting on the tailgate right now. That's where that stands. But we've also thrown around the idea of having 3 crew cabs. Me selling this extended cab and just getting a crew cab. I don't mind. I would prefer a crew cab, but I don't like owing people any money, so yeah. But this is, like the title says, a Q&A, so if y'all have any questions about anything that's going on with your trucks or anything that you can think of that you might want to know about what's going on in the background or what's been going on as of the truck situations go, just go ahead and ask. I'm going to try and get this tripod more or less level here. There we go. That's a little better. So, how is everybody doing on this Sunday? Anybody got any plans going on? I know it's late in the day, but anybody do anything interesting? Our Sunday consisted of going and getting fast food, so and cleaning up the driveway. So, but I guess here at some point I can show you guys how the projects have progressed, because the wife's truck actually looks a little differently. Robbed quite a bit of parts off the smashed crew cab, and that is gone. Y'all will see that in the next video that I post. I got footage of them stabbing the windows with a big front end loader and its forks and lifting it off the trailer, and now it sucks to see it go, but the constant reminder of it being in the driveway really, it's been almost a year, and it still took its toll on me. It took me a while to actually get around to ripping the suspension out of it. In all honesty, you put so much time and effort and money into something, and some freak accident happens, and then you're just looking at it every day you come home from work. So there's still remnants of it here, the parts and pieces, but it's not so much on my mind anymore. Oh, I completely forgot the Honda. I forgot that I sold that thing. Actually, the day after I posted that video, it sold for $1,300. So, if anybody remembers the Honda, just let me know in the comments. It was I don't know what color it was, I'm colorblind, but it looked like a goldish, greenish gold, or with light brown interior, and it's a 91 Honda Civic LX. Yeah, that thing went bye-bye. I bought it for $100 off my neighbor over here, put maybe $800 into it and sold it for $1,300, so come out on top on that one. Wolverine, like I said, is gone. I hated that I didn't make any more content on that. Very little content of it. Excuse me. But that's gone as well. Still have the KX 125. Um, Wife and I have been talking about letting that go, but I think I'm just gonna let the Warrior go at a loss. I love the Warrior, don't get me wrong, and I'd love to hang on to it, but realistically, it's a little underpowered for me. I'd love to hang on to it for Presley, but that's gonna be a long time. So I think I'm just gonna let someone else have fun with it. As much fun as I had with it. The problem with it is it doesn't scare me. In an ATV, I kind of like that little bit of that little bit of oh no. So, I'll find another one. I'm a big Yamaha fan, but I also like other brands. I would love a YFZ or a Raptor 660 or 700R, but 450 and up is more or less what I'm looking for. Or two-stroke, get a 250. If I could just get if my dream three-wheeler would ever pop up for sale for a reasonable price, well, a cheap price. I'm sure I could find them out in California for dirt cheap, but anybody take a stab at what my favorite three-wheeler might be? Or let me know if you actually like three-wheelers. That's a better one. And then, does anybody in the comments have a favorite four-wheeler? I would love to know that as well. My favorite four-wheelers, because you have to have several, right? You can't just have one type. That's boring. You gotta have one for mudding. So, as far as mudding goes, I'm pretty simple. Absolutely love a Grizzly 700. Those are pretty awesome. I've never been too big a fan of Polaris with their utility quads. Their sport quads is another story, but um, uh, eh, I like Can-Am. Can-Am's cool with their sport quads. Um, Three-wheelers. I love three-wheelers. I've had two, and now I want a racing three-wheeler or a go-fast three-wheeler. Dirt bike. I'll probably be hanging on to the KX 125 because I want to make that. In all honesty, I want to make that a better series than the Warrior turned out to be. In all honesty, I mean it's not hurting me. It's not taking up very much space in the shed. Parts, trying to find parts for it are gonna be a bitch. But because it's a 92, and I don't know anything about what crosses over to a 92 other than like 91 to 94, I think, maybe. Uh, but finding parts for that one's going to be a challenge, but I think I could do that dirt bike justice. Sport quads. Favorite is a YFZ 450. Probably the late models. But I do like the Can-Am DS 450. I think it's 450 SX. I could be wrong. I think they had like 3 different models to it. I've always been a big fan of the Polaris Outlaw 525S, so the single shock. Kawasaki, the KFX 400 would be cool. The 700s look a little stupid to me, but that's just my opinion. Just like the Honda 700XX, not that big a fan, but the 400EX or the TRX 450 is pretty friggin' sweet. I've never been a big Honda fan though. Not that there's anything wrong with Hondas. I actually, that was the first four-wheeler I ever had, was a TRX 125. But no suspension on that thing. Brutal. Um, yeah. But yeah, the Warrior, I, it doesn't scare me enough. So I will get something that's oh Jesus, you guys have been responding. Let me go through these comments now that I need to catch up. Dude got codes 17, 18, 35, 43 at the moment, in need of an injection pump. Quad Star Tuning, man. I am not sponsored at all by Quad Star Tuning, but I'd strongly recommend an injection pump from them. Currently, that is what I'm using for the wife's truck and my extended cab. So what are your thoughts regarding all mechanical conversions using a 93 two-wheel drive transmission controller in a 4x4? It's not the swap itself. I assume you're swapping just. Okay, let me start over. I assume you mean you're swapping a two-wheel drive to a four-wheel drive. That in itself, it's not a small job, but it's not entirely impossible. I'm a big fan of solid axle swaps, going from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. But swapping like A-arms and everything, cutting and welding, I would just rather solid axle myself. Not impossible, but definitely a lot of measurements, and gotta know what you're doing. I'd love a two-door 6.5 Tahoe. So I think I read like there was only 5,000 of those made. So if you can find one, super not common. I've got a question for you. Could I DM you on Instagram? Yes, I've been needing to. Don't y'all on my Instagram and Facebook probably fucking hate me because I haven't responded to a lot of people, but I am going to set up a schedule in order to make that happen. Them Hondas run forever. I know they're cockroaches, but they do run forever. I rode 400EX maybe I don't know 4 months ago. Loved it. It was the old school like bug headlight. Reminds me a lot of the Warrior. Just a lot more power than the Warrior, which is why I hate not to hang on to it, but it doesn't scare me anymore. So, or whatever social you have. Yes, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I also have a TikTok. So I will be making TikTok videos here at some point. The first one is actually going to be coming out here either today or next weekend. So try Z250. Guessed it. That is by far my absolute favorite three-wheeler. And I know the whole fucking, oh, you got to get an 86 because they're so much better than the 95s. They got one more gear. They got bigger shocks for the front forks. And I like the yellow and black ones. Don't get me wrong. The black and red for the 95.5 and the red and white. If I If I could just find one. There's one for sale in my area, and it's $6,500, which for a Tri-Z running and driving spotless is not a bad price. But I got other things the Tri-Z can wait. I grew up with a Kawasaki 250 Desert Racer. Nice. I grew up on the road that dead-ended Michigan Motorcycle Club, big clay pits, hill climbs and shit. It's Jeff. I'm putting the mechanical parts from an old red. It's Dexter. Plan is to actually swap old red cab. Yelling at fucking neighbor. But otherwise, questions: two-wheel drive, solenoid trans control. Will it work with Dexter? I'm pretty sure it will. Yes, I'm pretty sure it will. But yes, if I could find a Tri-Z that was worth a damn it, I found one. It's $6,500. Oh, and I love it. But yeah, all's well that ends well. Sucks to see the Warrior go. I gotta fix a couple things on it, but I've sunk so much money into it. That's the way toys go, so that one will be gone. But I'll still have the dirt bike. I just haven't ridden the dirt bike yet. I wish this thing would quit shutting off. Okay, I think I finally got Chaz figured out to where I can see them popping up as they come. Hey, there we go. I can figure it out. I'm smarter than the average ape. Oh, it went away again. Fuck. Let's figure out how to wire up the sensor transfer case to that controller. The best bet is to find just rip everything out of the donor. That's the best bet. As far as the frame and shit and everything goes, it's completely different in the front end. So you can just hack the front end off of the four-wheel drive and stuff it underneath and weld it up to the two-wheel drive. It's a hell of a lot of work. Yes, the donor is a two-wheel drive truck. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, that's what's been going on. So second baby on the way. Yay! I am excited. It's just my daughter's a handful. Oh, and next baby is due in December, so they'll be right around my birthday, which is the 18th of December. So yeah. So appreciate y'all tuning in to the live stream. Again, if you'd like to reach out to me via the social medias, you can't catch me on here. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We'll be starting TikTok videos here at some point. I will need to get back on making regular content, even just as far as YouTube goes. So that is the plan. I need to develop a plan where I can set aside time during the weekend in order to record, because I'm busy throughout the week, which is never fun. Especially a job like, don't get me wrong, I like what I do for a job, but if I could ever make YouTube happen, more content for you, a lot less headache for me. No, I like my job. I just some of the things you deal with, some of the shit you deal with, and that I'm no different than anybody else. Everybody's got like shit popping up throughout work that they absolutely despise. So it is unfortunately what it is. I molded in the garage pod into the gauge pod into the dash, fiberglass, and body worked, and dash just finished putting the dash back together. Awesome! That's awesome, man. Friggin', I wish I, I could start tackling my shit again. I need, a lot of it is ambition. Truth be told, um, having the old smash crew cab in the driveway, I look at it. Would look at it every day, and I would lose all ambition. So not having it in the driveway anymore, as of yesterday, for some reason, I felt the need to get on the old YouTube today, and I'm glad I did because I get to talk to you guys. So it's nice not having it as a constant reminder of something that more or less could have been avoided. But I have another crew cab to build, and I saved. Oh, you guys are gonna be so happy. Hold on. I gotta show you guys something. I saved one of the most important pieces. I saved the wiper cowl. I know a lot of people hate this thing, but I saved it. So proud, I'm proud of myself. I also saved the visor too, but yeah, I'm possessed by the damn wiper cowl. I don't know what it is about them. I like them. So yep, yes, that is definitely wiper cowl ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody take that one away from me. Yeah. Hey Jesse, I have a question, buddy. Ask away. That is what I am here currently today for. So ask. Anybody want to buy the wife's dually? Please. It's going up for sale here at some point, and I'd rather it go to a great home than somebody who's going to beat the snot out of it. And I'll show you guys here shortly. Swapped a couple things over, so it looks a little different, but it will be going up for sale. Sour Patch Kids. You're all a sweet kind of person or a sour kind of person? I like sour. Okay, here we go. Question. That's a glorious look for me. 96, 6.5 turbo, only sees 3 pounds of boost on the gauge. Truck runs perfect, no smoke except. Think my turbo is tired. Possibly. Could be. Well, I have questions. Is your vacuum pump still hooked up? If so, are the lines still good? Like the plasticky kind of lines still good? Is your solenoid still good? There's problems throughout the factory system. One being the vacuum pump. The vacuum pump trash. It is a wear item. I hate it. A lot of people do. I would get rid of it. But if it's still hooked up and you want to keep it, the vacuum pump is something to look at. Along with the vacuum pump, are the plastic lines going from the vacuum pump to the solenoid, and then from the solenoid to your wastegate on your turbo still good. Those are known for getting old and brittle and cracking and not working properly. Next, I would look at the turbo itself. Do you have a lot of play in it? Is there a lot of oil out the exhaust side? Are the gaskets still good as far as the exhaust flange gasket? And then look at your intake gaskets and your one intake boot. Look at those. There's quite a few things. Turbo's not out of the realm of possibilities, but it's not the only thing to look at. So I would say if your turbo feels good, like the bearings inside are good, more than likely it's not the turbo. Vacuum pump, vacuum solenoid, yeah, those are the things I would look at. Or the vacuum lines, especially. Get rid of the plastic ones with rubber. I hope that answers your question. So, until any more questions, I have a new pump. Maybe I'll throw that in. Thanks. Yeah. It's worth it. Sorry. So I thought I'd show you guys kind of what has been going on in the background. Let me flip this camera around. Oh, so the engine out of this truck, just sitting right here. I've got to get that over to the way the fuck back there, and I modified my cherry picker in order to go on the hitch of the wife's truck in order to do so. Same thing with the transmission. I don't know if I'm going to do a build on the transmission because it was fine, and I don't expect to push a fuck-jillion ton of horsepower out of this poor thing. But this one's going to be a teardown to see if it's any good. If it's not, I'm just going to bite the bullet, spend $6,000 for a new long block. But a bunch of good parts on this one to swap over that one. The frame hasn't changed any, so frame is almost good to go. When I do the suspension video, which will be the next video on this frame for that truck, it is going to be a full in-depth taking apart the leaf springs and assembling all that and putting the rear axle on first and then moving up here, cutting the bump stops off, a full in-depth on how to install the rough country lift. A-frame sitting here, couldn't do half the shit I've done out here without you. The press, I'm gonna be replacing all these bushings because they are weather cracked and shot. Here's all the rough country stuff. I'm going to just be cleaning up and painting some of the parts. This isn't going to be like a spotless show quality build or anything, but it's going to be nice. I already have it here. I might as well clean it up, take care of it. Cab hasn't changed at all, except get more and more dirty. Save the visor. Got all my tools. The extended cab been running great. Got a few issues, but nothing that doesn't prevent me from driving it. I just put seat covers and shit in it the other day, but other than that, just cleaned it up, put some seat covers and floor mats in it. So this is one of the issues, which is fault by GM, because their door pins are absolute garbage. So gotta just slam it. The old heart from El Smasho crew cab, and running fine and doing great. tough old girl. When I go to sell this truck at some point or give it away, yeah, it's the whole heart out of the old Smash Crew cab, so take care of it. Wife's dually. This thing is going to be going up for sale, and as you can tell, some things have changed. We put the chrome bumpers back on it. I got to repaint it because the paint did absolutely horrible. Put the mirrors from the Smash Crew cab on this one. So, yeah, this one will be going up for sale. Hate to see it go because it is such a good truck, but we need crew cabs, so put the chrome bumper back on this one. It is dirty, but toolbox will be going with it. Gotta fix a few things. And then the trailer is empty, and as you can see, there's no Smash Crew cab in the driveway anymore. This is my wife's toolbox. I just put a bunch more tools into it so I don't have to keep bringing a fuck ton of tools home from work. All the suspension parts again, saving that hitch because it's a stout hitch. Yeah, it's just been a progression that been really down about the crushed one, but it's gone now, so it's gone. So evidently the doggies are out. Dog's over there gonna go swing. Yep. Then yeah. Then so me and the wife have been tossing the idea around. I wish I could get comfortable on this goddamn tailgate. Wife and I have been tossing around the idea of having 3 crew cabs. One is a backup, which I am not against, so that means that this one would have to go bye-bye. So the wife's dually is going to be for sale. Let me know if you'd like to buy it once I am done with it. I don't want to sell anybody a piece of shit, so I'm going to fix the issues that are wrong with it and repaint it. It's going to be white. Continue to be white. Where's mine? I would stop kicking that. So if you're wanting that dually, just reach out to me and let me know. Yeah, so we're gonna be getting either a 7.3 or a 6.0 for the wife. That's what she wants, so that's what we're gonna be getting. And then for me, I'm either going to keep the extended cab and fix the crew cab. It's on the ground, which is what I'd like to do, or I just get a new crew cab, sell this one while simultaneously fixing the 6.5 crew cab. I'd rather just fix the 6.5 crew cab and keep the extended cab for the time being, but if anything, heaven forbid, happens to the Ford, so that is the idea. Yep. Tell you what, it's just a relief having the smashed one. It was like a lot of times, or it's just that memory kept coming back every time I looked at it. So I'm kind of glad it's gone, even though I hated to see it go. So, yeah. If anybody else has TikTok, just go ahead and find me. There's JessP _ something. It's the old profile picture that I always use of the old 6'5". So yeah, you'll be able to ask me any questions all the time there as well. Somebody's screaming, and then we have the wife back there swinging Peanut. She loves that swing. She loves to swim too. But yeah, any questions, comments, concerns? I hope y'all wouldn't be too concerned about me. I'm just like everybody else. I got my own issues behind the scenes, so just working through it. There's a moo. There's my moo dog. But yeah, it'll be a good one. I can't wait to start on the crew cab. Just because, like, I'm get out of here. Um, my wife evidently has a question, and she can just ask.
What about a Duramax? You gonna tell them about that?
That's what we've discussed. We've already talked about that.
A Duramax, not a Power Stroke.
For you,
Yeah.
a Power Stroke.
I haven't seen anything about a Duramax.
You haven't been watching. I don't know what to tell you. You don't pay attention. You don't pay attention as good as they do.
You said you didn't mention a Duramax.
Jesus. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I swear. Alright, I had a couple questions pop up. Rude. What's the most mileage you've ever seen on them OBS Chevys? 6.5 specifically, on all original parts. Right now, the most I've ever seen on a 6.5, when regular scheduled maintenance and somebody actually giving a shit about it, was 410,000 miles. And she was tired. Guy used it to haul his camper all over the country, and it was tired. He took really good care of it. Don't get me wrong, about 400,000 miles on a 6.5. This motor that's in this extended cab came out of the Smash Crew cab and had 310,000 on it when I dropped it in to this one. So 310,000, still no blow by, but I have done head studs, and it has reman heads on it. So Facebook ? Yeah, you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. Usually, in all my videos, I leave little links to where people can get a hold of me, and Facebook is one of them. So just look in the comments. You can reach out to me there. What are the consequences on a lower boost pressure? I also own a 96 6.5 diesel. Still have the original vacuum pump, and it's noisy. I've never measured the boost pressure. How much a 96 single cab with no rust be worth in the US? Only 65. 100,000 miles. So super, super low mileage. All original. No rust or anything like that. Depending on, overall condition, it being that low of miles, um, I would expect it to be in more or less immaculate condition. And I have seen prices all over the place for these 6.5s. So the last single cab that I saw anywhere in a 250-mile radius of where I currently live in Tennessee, last single cab I saw was a long box single wheel. It had almost 200,000 miles. It was in fair condition, not like the little bit of rust on the cab corners, nothing serious. And he was looking to get $8,000 for it. That one, um, you know, anywhere around there, I would say. If it were a crew cab, I've been seeing them go for 13, and even the extended cab dualies been going for 13, 14, which is ridiculous in my opinion. But if that's what you can get for your truck, then so like all the power to you. I hope to get quite a bit of money for the wife's dually to help pay down the power stroke that we plan on getting, because that's not going to be cheap. But yeah, I I don't. It can be they can be pretty up there on price for some reason. Congratulations on your growing family. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's growing. Will swapping intakes from an S engine to an F intake, make you F engine number in horsepowers and torque? Are they internally different? So it's not gonna make that big difference in my opinion. As far as flow goes, I know a lot of people go for the F intakes because they are better flowing, but you're talking not a whole lot of difference in all honesty. I mean, if you were looking at every last little ounce that you can get out of it, sure, go with the F intake. As far as differences from the S and the F, if you were just looking to just basically keep it reliable in the way that it is, and maybe search for a couple more horse, there are alternate ways of doing so, like just overall redoing the intake system in general. Put an intercooler in it instead of going with the factory intake horn. Would recommend an intercooler over anything. Whether you do a water intercooler or an air-to-air intercooler is completely up to you. A lot of people now in the 6.5 world are going with water-cooled. I'm pretty partial to air-to-air intercooler, but that's me. This coil's a little burnt. That hurts. But yeah, my opinion on it. If you were indecisive over an F or an S intake, build your own intercooler system. It's not that difficult and adds a little bit of creativity to it. And running low boost can be detrimental. I think I forgot to answer this question earlier. Somebody was asking about a low boost scenario, but the truck runs totally fine. Low boost, you're adding more fuel than air at that point. You can get your EGTs way harder than what they need to be, and you can melt down a piston. So watch your EGTs. Yep. Evidently, my wife thinks I'm real comical. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. Anybody else got any exciting things going on with their projects? I'm still looking for a flatbed that's relatively affordable. Because I don't like any of the flatbeds that I've been finding, so I'm gonna buy one and make it the way I like. I don't like a massive headache rack, so I'm gonna chop it down. Gotta find one. Why am I procrastinating? I gotta throw the fucking suspension on. I gotta stop worrying about shit and just throw it together and do it. Stop wasting time. What am I wasting time for? Excuse me. So I'll be getting the frame lifted and putting jack stands underneath it again for the 4th time, and then redoing all the bushings, and then frame going together. And once the frame is together, then I would love to put the transmission and motor in, but the motor needs work. And then I would love to put the motor in before I put the cab on, but I don't realistically think that's going to happen, because I would like the cab off the fucking ground, but I don't want to set it on anything to where it just sits there again. But then I'll have to take it back off to paint it. Why am I so indecisive? Dang it. What to intercool my 6.5 with a Super 60 quad star hopping up injection pump would like 450 horse. I would love 450 horse. I'm right there with you, man. Friggin', I would absolutely love to push 450 horse. I don't think it's not impossible. So, reason being is the S was rated, yeah, it's rated at 165, and the F is 180. I was curious if simply getting rid of all the EGR crap could make that much of a difference. Well, just in general, like, getting rid of the EGR is a plus anyways. It's making the engine eat its own farts. Get rid of the EGR. If that's the way anybody wants to look at it. EGR is never good. Which in particularly, like, my favorite Duramax is an LLY. I know a lot of people hate the LLY. But my second favorite is also the LB7. I've had an LB7. No EGR, no DEF, or any emissions on it. Love the sound of an LB7. I like an LLY way more. Hate me if you want for liking a Lily, but I like what I like. And Lilies You just get rid of the EGR. It's no different than a 6.5. EGR operates and functions the exact same way, and you're making the engine eat its own shit. Get rid of the EGR. Yes, it will improve flow if you get rid of the EGR. Now, if you're just looking to keep a stock and putt around, throw a block-off plate on that fucking EGR system. You're fine. They do make block-off plates for them, but bye, Gomer. Love that forehead. Guys, my daughter has the same forehead as I do, crinkles and all. It's fucking hilarious. I love it. Hey, nobody asked you, okay? God. Oh, I love all them ladies to bits. Love you. But, yep. Got that one, and then another one on the way. It'll be fun. Crew cab is needed. Tell you what. Let's go over here to the wife's truck. So, if anybody has kids with an extended cab, you know the struggle. Hope these doors are unlocked. So, that door is locked. Why is it locked? Fucking wife locking shit. Okay. Let's get the foot card. So, anybody who has an extended cab 6.5, more than likely, you don't have a third door. That makes it super inconvenient for a car seat. Car seat in an extended cab suck. Primary reason why we are getting a crew cab. Give me one moment here. So, you kind of got to snake a car seat in between the two front seats. It's just a super big pain in the ass. And then there's no room for anything else. We put the diaper bag over on this side, the stroller over there. No room for another baby. Miserable. Lock the damn door. Fuck. Okay. Coming over to a crew cab. Plenty of space for 2 car seats. Now, if I could just get this one off the ground, that would be fantastic. Good old blue interior. Love it. Should have stole that steering wheel pad out of the 6.5, but that is neither here nor there. So, plenty of space for 2 car seats, and then long box for stroller. So, yeah. So, like the wife was saying about the Duramax, if I wind up just going with 3 vehicles, all being crew cabs, the wife is going to get her 7.3 or 6.0. We're going to sell her dually. Then I'm going to get a Duramax and then sell this extended cab. and then we'll build the 6.5 crew cab at the same time. Or we're for sure selling the dually and getting a 6.0 or 7.3. I'm going to drive around in the extended cab until the crew cab is built, then sell the extended cab and get a Duramax. Either way, I'm getting a Duramax one way or another. Whether it comes before or after the 6.5 is up in the air. But, yep, that's the plan. For those new turning into the live stream, thank you. I haven't talked to you guys in such a long time, and I feel horrible. I really do, because I genuinely like talking to you guys. This is the whole reason behind IDI Legends and me making the YouTube videos and talking to you guys on my social medias. And here we are. Me not making videos for several months and feeling like absolute dog shit about a situation that I couldn't have controlled. So, yeah, it's high time I get back to making videos and having some fucking ambition or a fire lit under my ass to get things done. And I need to get a crew cab going in the worst way possible. So now this is high time, more or less, for me to get the other crew cab running. That's what I want to do. I want to make a full build series on it. Engine, suspension, cab off restoration, essentially. So what do you guys think about that? Do you guys have any like super specific things that you want to see with that project? Please enlighten me. If they're like, this is going to be a whole build series, but if there's anything in particular that you would like to see, please type it. Use your fingers, thumbs. Type it in the comments what you would like to see specifically on this build, because it's going to be as in depth as my brain allows me to make it. Recording. Okay, so the layout for the recording is going to be more or less spontaneous. As far as videos coming out, it wouldn't be. It's not going to be super regular, but it's going to be as regular as I can make it. A lot of parts, a lot of time, a lot of money is going to go into this, so I need, if like anything specific that you would like to see, whether me tearing apart the entire wiring harness, because I have two harnesses that I'm going to compare each other to. If you would like to see that, please let me know, because going through wires takes fucking forever. What wires go where? What, I don't know, what like how to go through the engine. If I wind up having to buy a long block, I'm going to have to tear that long block down anyways, because I'm going to have to head stud it. So anything specific, I need to know now before I forget. A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of parts. A lot of parts. I'm going to be touching every nut and bolt on this fucking thing. And at the very end of the day, I'm still just going to have a 6.5. But it's not going to be just a super stock special flatbed build. It's not going to be stock. I can't put it back stock. I could, but I'm not going to, because my brain won't allow it. Would love to get. I know I'm gonna make higher horsepower over stock with this truck. Making higher than stock horsepower with my last crew cab, but that didn't have near as much as what I'm gonna put into this one. So yeah. Whoop. Cab off is a lot of work. I'm in the middle of. I want to see the engine build. So I'm going to be rebuilding my engine 4L80 myself, plus all paint and body. Okay, so I got to tear that 141 block apart. We'll be going through the teardown on it. If the block is salvageable, I will be doing a full build on it. If it is not salvageable, it is scrap metal. But I will be buying a new long block, but I still have to tear that long block down because I plan on doing head studs. I plan on doing a main cap girdle. If you don't know about that, let me know. I plan on going into detail. I would like to replace the timing chain with a timing gear set, but if I'm not able to get a timing gear set, then timing chain it is. But it won't be going back stock, but I will be doing an engine build on it. I would like to find somebody to build me a set of headers. If I can't find anybody, then I'll build them myself. I would love, and the reason why I say that is because I would love to do a compound system on this that is also intercooled. So a lot of things have to be placed differently than stock. So the battery's got to get out of the engine bay. It's gonna be a lot, but if I can tear them apart, I can put them back together. So yeah, the engine is going to be a full build regardless. Transmission, I might just buy one that's already built. Um, Not that I'm not confident in myself enough to go into a transmission. I've just never really gotten into an automatic transmission. If it was a manual, like an MV 4500, I've gotten into those. I'm probably just going to wind up buying a new transmission. I know motors, I don't know transmissions. Transmissions have not been my strong suit. So, take it to a specialist and have them rebuild the transmission for me. But first of all, thank you for all your YouTube videos. Helped me out a great deal of my turbo. Thank you, honestly, for Wesley. Thank you. I'm just happy to help y'all where I can. It's, I've been doing YouTube a little while, but lately I've been slacking a lot. And I imagine it's just tuning in. We got rid of the Smash Crew Cab. That little bit of video will be in the next video that I do post of us getting rid of the Smash Crew Cab. So it's been that thing sitting around the driveway had been weighing on me. Now that I can no longer see it every day, starting to get a little bit of ambition back because I see all these parts laying around me, but the only way it's going to get back together is if I just fucking do it. So that is what I am going to do, is just do it. I have to get this going. I can't wait on this any longer. it's not gonna weigh on me any longer. So yeah, that's where I've been. Just kind of down in the dumps, but see all these parts, and it's time to get back to the way things were. So I'm going to stud the bottom end. Is that worth the money versus girdle? You can both stud and girdle the bottom end. So what the girdle does is it adds rigidity, or makes the caps basically rely on the other caps to help hold them true. The studs, they hold the caps down tighter, and that holds them independent with studs. With a girdle, you're kind of using the other caps as more or less a crutch to help them kind of stabilize or stay strong. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to both stud and girdle the bottom end. That's what I would do if you were ultimately worried about it. But girdling the bottom end does help with rigidity. And then studs, you can't never go wrong with studs. It's just like studding your heads. It holds them down. Anything to improve the strength on a 6'5" is ultimately your best bet. What do you guys think about the wife owning a 6'0"? Or has any of you had experience with the 6'0"s? I've had my experiences with the 6'0"s, but I want to know if y'all personally ever owned a 6'0". Did you like it? Did you absolutely hate it? Let me know in the comments, please, please, please. Wish this tailgate was a lot softer. But yeah, the engine out of this truck that I'm sitting on the tailgate of is hurt pretty bad. So tearing into it, I'm sure we're gonna find problems. One is blatantly obvious with the harmonic balancer separating, because it had sat forever, and then I drove around with it like that, so that was never good. And then the head gaskets went, and then the injection pump started having fits. So that engine is hurt. So either way, that one's gonna be torn all the way the fuck down. I'm gonna send it out to the machine shop. You gotta have them machine every single surface on it. And if it's too much money, or if it's cracked, or like anything else, I will just spend the $6,000 to buy a short block. Or a long block, I'm sorry. So, there's that. And that's gonna be expensive. But I'd really like to throw the engine transmission on before I throw the cab on, because then I don't have to worry about trying to snake an engine in between a cab. It's not impossible. It's just something that I would rather just have everything sitting down and kind of going from the ground up. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And then the engine that I'm going to build is going to consist of marine injectors, high output injection pump, Super 54 turbo, and then potentially an S300 is what I'm thinking for the second turbo. And I've got to build that exhaust system, so that's gonna suck. But that the compound system may come at a later date after I just get it running. But I would really like to put compounds on a 6.5. Not twins. I want to do twin turbo. I've seen a lot of janky twin turbo systems that some people have designed, and I don't like any of them. So I bet to do quality timing chain versus gear setup because the gear timing set doesn't have enough lash. Okay. Well, that's good news. So might just go with a beefy timing chain. And there have never been, like, obviously if a timing chain gets wore out, you're gonna have those issues there. But I guess it's no different than a gear set anyways. So if a gear set doesn't have as much lash as needed, then there have been plenty of engines that just hold up with a good old timing chain. So 350, for example. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and in all honesty, I appreciate y'all sticking around. More or less what I'm trying to say. Red is 400,000 miles with the original timing parts. Yeah, and you know, stock for the most part. Never had any issues. So good to hear. And you know, I've it all depends on how well you maintain your vehicles, anyways. And you guys know that I pretty well maintain to the best of my ability. But you know, it's just one of those things. I'm very appreciative of you guys just sticking around, and even in the several months that I haven't posted any videos, y'all have still stuck around. And we have had some new subscribers on the channel, so I greatly appreciate that, and I thank you guys for tuning into the videos and more or less believing in the content that I make. I can't thank you guys enough. I'll read some of these comments here. My 6.5 drove 3 foot and shut off, not the pump. I keep a new one under the seat. Left turn signal was on solid and the left lift pump wasn't running. Crank and would do anything. Next day fired up. No, I wouldn't say it's the pump. 308,000 on mine. So you've got electrical issues. Your left turn signal staying on. Going through the harness. It's tedious. It is necessary in some points. It's like this one. Speaking of problems, right now, my oil pressure gauge is fucking maxed out. Doesn't go under, and I know that's not the proper oil pressure of this truck, but I have electrical issues. As I'm driving down the road, the gauges flicker, the lights dim, the battery starts going down till I let off the throttle, and then everything starts fine, and then I get onto the throttle and everything goes to shit. So I've got to dive into that little electrical issue, but yeah, weirdest thing that has happened. I agree. Left turn signal. Yeah. And then only driving 3 feet. Look at that forehead. Yeah, set my daughter up for failure. Yeah, it's strange, but it's definitely electrical issues. I can't wait to get my 6.5 done with some big horsepower, fully built to make people think twice about going up against 6.5s. Would like to smoke a few 6.5 haters. I love 6.5s, especially built ones. I agree. I've always loved 6.5s. Um, if y'all have tuned into the channel long enough, you know my story with 6.5s. And I'm very partial to these things. Love them to pieces, even the lemons. I've no problem, Wesley. I've just always loved them. They've only left me on the side of the road a couple times, but no, everything is designed to break, and the 6.5s have always just come through for me. I mean, I know inanimate objects don't give a fuck about, you know, organisms, but they've always just seemed to come through for me. Yes, darling. Okay, love you. I'll be in to give kisses here in a bit. All right, but yeah, 6.5s have always just come through for me, and I would love to just, you know, shove it to the haters, like everybody outside of the 6.5 community just talk shit. And that's what they're gonna do. Who cares? But it'd be fun and funny to show them that the 6.5 can do some stuff that it was never designed to do. So, yeah, higher horsepower 6.5. So, I agree. I'm with you wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Uh, when I was wiring Dexter, it was difficult to say the least. When I pressed the brake pedal, the horn honked. Yeah. Oh, you gotta love electrical gremlins. Love them. So I have the entire harness from this crew cab and the crashed 6.5 crew cab sitting in the shed over there, and I would love what I would love to do. Get the frame and suspension done. Awesome. Get the motor and transmission done. Great. Then put the wire and harness on the motor. Cool. Then put the cab on the chassis. And then find a flatbed and put it on. And then buy new fenders. Get everything painted and body worked. And then big redunculous wheels and tires that everybody hates. And traction bars. Compound turbos. But that's in the future. And I appreciate y'all sticking around for it. I will be responding to comments on the videos here shortly. And comments on the Facebook and Instagram soon, because I hate not talking to y'all. And I know a bunch of you have pretty well signed off on me, but I appreciate those who have stuck around. So, thank you. I would love. You guys know of OBS solutions? Let me know in the comments if you do. The reason why I say that is because their cowboy truck. Oh, god damn it. Oh, their cowboy truck, that white flatbed. Never heard of them. Okay. So, I don't expect y'all to hear of OBS Solutions. But what OBS Solutions is um, they do OBS Ford stuff. So I don't expect y'all to know about them if you're only in GM vehicles. But basically, they have a 90 style 7.3 crew cab, lifted, big wheels and tires, white. The flatbed on that truck specifically is the way I would like to build my flatbed. I would love to. Now, if my ability to do so is like, I don't think I can't do it. It's time and money. I have to look them up later. Yeah, it's worth a look. Their big white crew cab is by far my favorite OBS Ford. You still planning on turning the extended cab into a service truck before y'all sell? Thank you for your YouTube video 6.5 Suburban. So I almost bought a 6.5 Suburban. It was red and it was a hunk of shit. Only because the previous owner did not take care of it. And the one reason why I did not buy it was because the title of the vehicle was in question. I don't fuck around with titles. So my experience with dealing with fraudulent titles and titles in question was the 03 Chevy Duramax that I bought down in Texas. The title was in somebody else's name, and a car lot had bought it and never transferred it into the car lot as ownership. And the title was also in question whether it was actually that person's vehicle. But I wound up buying the Duramax anyways, and it took me forever to get the title. And I don't mess around with titles anymore, which is why I did not buy that Suburban. On an ATV, I don't really give a shit, because if I'm going to buy an ATV, title's not really that big a deal here in Tennessee. Excuse the shit out of me. So I don't fuck around with titles, which is why I didn't buy that Suburban. And the previous owner didn't take care of it. If I were to build a 6.5 Suburban, I would build more or less an overlanding style, camping, off-road capable, probably solid axle swap 6.5 Suburban. Only so I could go adventuring with. And yeah, it'd be handy for kids and dogs and everything else. God damn it. Drink me some more of this. But I don't hate Suburbans. They're just not my style. I always like trucks. I absolutely hate pat caps too. I know I may get some hate for that. A bunch of y'all put pat caps on your beds. That's totally fine. I don't care if anybody else has flat beds with caps on them. I'm just not a cap guy. I don't like the look. And I don't really like the functionality, because if I want to put something big and tall in my bed while I'm out and about, say I just bought a four-wheeler, I don't want to have to drive back to the house, drop the fucking pat cap off, and then go back, get it. Fucking, it's too much hassle. Just, you have a truck bed, use it as a bed. Even put big tall shit in. So yeah, and there's that. But yeah, OBS Solutions, that's the way I'd like to build my flatbed. I'd offer to do the paint and body on your 6.5. Bring your truck to Saskatchewan. I'll do your 6.5 for cost. And I greatly appreciate that, and thank you. I just have no way of getting it to Saskatchewan. Like I do, but traveling over the like, I'm not afraid to travel. It's taking the time is my biggest deal, because time is my most important thing. I don't like, and the adventure itself would be great. I just it was a long fucking ride. I do appreciate it, and I thank you. And I'm sure you do great work, and I would greatly appreciate that. I would just have to get everything together and make that big trip, and then getting it over the border. I don't know. This project's gonna take a while as it is, but I do appreciate it. Yeah. Not sure if Tennessee has surety bonds or not. I don't know. I've never looked into it. Looking for fenders for my dually bed. Anyone has some for sale? I do not. Yeah, so if anybody does, let him know in the comments. Please reach out to him. I do not currently have any dually fenders for sale. And dually beds alone, if they're not flatbeds, are pretty hard to come by. Those are a way to title a vehicle with no or lost titles. I'm sure they do. I just don't like dealing with them. Titles. If I'm gonna buy a vehicle from somebody, I want the title in hand, ready to go. Here's my money, kind of deal. Yeah, I give you money, you give me title and truck, and then I take truck away forever. That's the way I like to operate. And then I like to sell truck later on down the road when I'm done with it. Oh. Back to the. I'm all over the place. Back to whether I would. Oh, fuck. If I'm going to turn the extended cab into a service body or not. So, here's the lowdown on that. So, kind of, yes. I would love to turn this into a service body. Would. I really would love to have a service body, whether I keep it or not. The problem is if I decide to keep it. Here's the issue: is everybody in Tennessee sees a service body as, oh, he has big money stored up in all of his drawers or doors of his toolbox on the bed of his truck. I'm gonna break into it and steal shit out of it. Man, I work so hard for the shit that I have. I know it doesn't look like much, but like I've had shit stolen from me before, and I know I could just put locks on all the doors of the service bed, and it will be safe until somebody comes and drills out the lock and takes my fucking tools. And like, I would love to turn this into a service bed, single wheel service bed, but I also like keeping my shit. So I've thought about, have you guys ever seen the tuck boxes where like they go the length of your bed and they're like pull out drawers, and then you can slide them back and they keep all your tools kind of nice and neat? Have y'all ever seen those? Trying to think. The guys from Junkyard Digs have them in or has them in their F-150, and I've never seen them in person. I kind of like them, but then again I don't, because let's say like you want to put a four-wheeler up here, and then you smash out your back window because the bumper sticks out farther than the tires. Like, I'm so indecisive. Help me understand. So yeah, that's the lowdown on that. I for sure will keep it in mind, and I do greatly appreciate the offer. And I will keep it in mind, because if it takes me forever, then I may as well just send it out and have it painted in bodywork. I'll show you kind of the bodywork situation going on with it as it sits right now. I agree. I got a 2012 Acadia for free that had no title and learned about it then. Yeah, so let's look at the body situation. So here is the crew cab to the frame. Yay! So no real big dings, dents around the body. The primary deal is the roof. Let's see if I can get up here and stand on shit. So here's the roof. So it's got some surface rust back there. Obviously the paint on the roof is peeling, which Olympic white on any GM fucking vehicle from the 90s sucks. That one, this one, that one before I repainted it, but I've got to repaint it. So, how do I get down? Oh, here we go. And then, see the Olympic white just off it. I got birds shitting on it. No big dings or dents in the cab or the doors or anything like that. It's just the surface rust right here, because it's been baking. And then that two-way radio antenna, gotta fill that fucking hole because that looks hideous, and I don't ever plan on putting a two-way into it, or even a CB for that matter. So, but it's just a solid cab, and I would love to get the firewall, the doors, the door jambs, everything back to where it needs to be, and then put some nice sound deadening on the firewall. And when I do the interior, rip all the interior out and do the sound deadening on the floor and on the back. That would be my plan for it. And Olympic white, that's all I want. I just want to go back to white. And then I would eventually like to white as well. Just to have it match. Yep. That's my plan. I thought about doing some of the suspension components white, but I don't know, because powder coating, I mean, so my problem with powder coating is that I hear about people scratching their fucking powder coat all the time, and how is that any different than paint? Powder coat, I thought, was supposed to be stronger than paint, but then you hear about people scratching their powder coat all the fucking time. Somebody help me understand powder coat. I've never powder coated nothing. I know it goes on in a powder, and then they electrolyze it, and then they bake it in a big fucking, or no, I'm sorry, they positively charge it somehow, or with a ground, and then the powder sticks to it, is what I'm trying to say. They spray the powder on, then they bake it, then the powder coat's on, and it's supposed to be stronger than paint, but somehow people still manage to scratch it off. Is it supposed to be stronger than paint, or does it scratch off the same as paint? Yeah, I don't fucking know. Somebody explain it to me, please. Fucking, if I'm gonna send suspension components out to get them powder coated, but then the powder coat winds up flaking off because I scratched it, because I'm abusive with shit, what's the point? Like, or should I just leave all the suspension components black and paint the guards white, as I plan on doing as of right now? So, yay, more people tuning into the live stream. Woo! Thank you guys. I know I'm a fucking idiot. I worked at a powder coating factory, and while it's a hair stronger than paint, it's mostly better with heat. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because I don't know shit about powder coat. That's not what I do. I work on diesel trucks all day. I don't know nothing about paint, powder coat, nothing. I'm a modest when it comes to painting crap. No professional whatsoever, but I am a professional mechanic. That's what I do. Basically, perfect for firewall, turbo, intake, etc. Okay, that I can grasp and understand. It's good for high temperature, like if you were gonna powder coat the turbo, like you said, or the intake, or like brackets and stuff like that. I get that. Okay, thank you. So suspension components, it's more or less just go with paint because it's gonna scratch anyways. Okay, cool. I'm not a painting kind of guy. I'm a hard parts mechanic. It's what I do for a living. Not YouTube. I would love to do YouTube for a living. If I could make that possible to be a YouTuber for a living, that would be my dream job. I could be home with the wife. Anything were to happen with babies. Um, Again, I like the place I work. I absolutely love, but I like building shit, man. Everybody wants to work on their own shit, right? I haven't wanted to bother y'all after y'all had the baby, but we talked about doing some work on the 6.5s. Would that still be possible at any time? Yes. Yes, Zachary. Absolutely. And now that I have shit out of the way, absolutely. That is entirely possible. If y'all would like me to work on your 6.5, I would rather work on your 6.5 instead of working on the shit that I do at the shop. So, put this in perspective. I am a diesel mechanic at a garbage company. So I get really nasty throughout the day. And I deal with not as much as I used to, but I used to work with some really undesirable people that are just fucking hateful and can't fathom basic concepts like parts are on order. So I'm the lead mechanic for a garbage company. And the drivers or co-workers that I had are fucking hateful. Some of them. We've weeded pretty much all of them out, but now it's very doable. And my boss, she's awesome. Kudos. We get along well. We work together really well. But like working on garbage trucks, I don't know if that's anybody's passion, but I would like to work in the driveway, even outside, on 6.5s and stuff. So I would love to make YouTube a job someday. Maybe not. May not ever happen, but yes, if you would like me to work on your 6.5, I'm here. And Summertime is the best because I don't have a garage currently where I am at. But oh, oh, okay, it fudged. So yes, if you would like me to work on your 6.5, absolutely. We'll make plans. Reach out to me. Get a hold of me. Okay, so just to say, best absolute way to get a hold of me is to call me on Facebook Messenger. I am more likely to pick up if you call me on Facebook Messenger. Texting me on Facebook Messenger, Christ, I might not respond to you for a while. But if you call me on Facebook Messenger, I'm more likely to pick up. I've usually got an earpiece in that I can talk to you while I'm still working on shit. This is the best way to get a hold of me. I know a lot of people have asked that. As far as like not getting back to people soon enough. Call me. Just call me. It's this new age technology that you can call people on Facebook Messenger. That's honestly the best way to get a hold of me. I still have your phone number, and it's the same one. Yes, it is. It is still the same one. I don't hand my phone number out to everybody, so but I do. If somebody's having a really hard time, I will hand out my phone number if I notice that they are getting a hold of me. It's just easier for me to talk to people if I hand out my phone number. Problem is, I gotta worry about if somebody hands out my phone number to the wrong person and they're calling me constantly, and then I have to block them, and I hate feeling like an asshole. But I love talking to you guys. I'm just busy sometimes. I just never wanted to bother you figuring a wait for free expensive. I'm sorry. Figured I can wait for free expensive knowledge. Same with calling you via your phone number. Dude, if you have my phone number, call me anytime. Please call me anytime. I am not worried about people calling me. I'm just like I said, it's easier for me to call and talk to somebody than it is to text. So if you like Zach, dude, we have talked before, and one bad dad on here, Jeff. You and I have talked before. Like we know each other. It's like if you need to get a hold of me, do not be bad. Like reach out anytime. The people in your neighborhood don't give you crap for working on trucks. That's pretty cool. Agreed. But if they gave me crap for working on my vehicles, I would give them crap for working on their vehicles. So I am not the only one with junk in the driveway where I live. So howdy Jesse, hope life is good. Had to replace the starter on my 6.5. Hey, I just did that on this one. Not fun. I mean, it's easy enough, but the tension of, oh, is the block gonna break on me is always there. I greatly appreciate it, brother. Same goes for calling me. Yeah, so like if I've ever given my number to anybody, or you call me on Facebook Messenger, we'll pick up. My problem is I always pick up to phone calls if I'm not underneath or in between a frame and a transmission on a garbage truck. I even pick them up while I'm recording videos. Like I try to help you guys out as best as I can with the time that I have. So if you are in need of immediate help, the best thing to do is call me. And I don't mind talking to you guys on the phone. I'd rather you call me than text me, because if you text me, I forget. And I hate being that way. I'm just that animal. It's like if you text me, I go, oh, I gotta respond to that. It's not so much throwing it away, is I get distracted. That's my biggest deal. But those of you who have called me and talked to me on the phone, y'all can pretty well attest in the comments that I pretty well pick up. And if I don't, I call you immediately right back when I have a free hand. So calling is the absolute best way to get a hold of me. Facebook, call me on there. There'd be times where my starter would just click at a turn of the key, then other times it would start right up. It's annoying me. Am I dead enough to buy a new starter? Yeah, I know. They're pricey. I think I spent like $200 on the starter for this one, and it was like 140 bucks after the core. Yeah, kind of fucking shitty. But don't forget that front mounting plate, please, because crucial. ADHD has its downsides. Agreed, but it means you're always busy mentally and physically. So my mind, and this is why I don't sleep well at night, is because my brain never fucking shuts off. I am always thinking of something, and that's a problem with being a mechanic, especially. Excuse you, bird. That's the problem with me being a mechanic. Shut it. That, that's the problem with me being a mechanic on, humongous garbage trucks or 18 wheelers, is you're always constantly worried. So me being the lead mechanic, I'm always worried about every truck that rolls out of the lot. Not that they aren't DOT illegal or anything like that. All the trucks are legal and they're all safe. But the constant worry, me being over another mechanic, making sure he did his job properly and making sure I did my job properly and making sure that they're safe. And then, like, if I was just a YouTuber, I would be able to sleep much better because I would not have that constant worry over my head. But the constant worry of, did I tighten the lug nuts? I've literally scared myself to the point where I've worked like 72-hour days, and I've kept myself up at night just to run back to work early to make sure that I tighten all the lug nuts on those wheels. Like, it hurts me. It hurts me so bad, but I always do my job properly. I just psych myself out sometimes, and it drives me nuts. So it prevents me from sleeping properly. Okay. I call it an engineer's brain. I'm always thinking about different ways to do things, design things, build things, etc. Agreed. But yeah, I'm glad that now out of the way, so I can drive both my 6.5s and my cat eye because of job. Tractor, salvage yard, being greasy and dirty, I can drive my 6.5s and now be scared to crime and not be scared to crime on my seat. Yeah. And be working on garbage trucks professionally, like I just put the seat covers in for a reason, so I keep them nice for the next owner. I bought a Wilson starter, 400 bucks. Damn good starter. Yes, I did reinstall the sport bracket. Awesome. you, you you want that. I have seen so many blocks cracked because people have neglected that support bracket. So it's a need. You need it. I need a drink. Drink. Thank you guys hanging around for this long. Been going on 2 hours. But yeah, I mean, hopes and dreams aside, most important thing is my family and making sure they have a roof over their head. So I work until I collapse, and then I drive home. And Then I do it all over again just to make sure my mind is at ease. I can try to get 4 hours of sleep if I can, and then spend as much time with that little one as possible. And right now, she's laying down with her mom, and she just makes me so happy and proud. So she's almost 9 months old. She loves her kiddie pool. She loves her swing, and she loves her mama. um, I just love seeing her smiling face as a dad. I always wanted to wait until I was this age to have kids, and then I did, and then she just brings me happiness. Both of them do, my wife and my baby. And we got another one on the way, so that'll be fun. And scary, all at the same time. But yeah. So I'm going to try coming out with regular videos again. If there's anything you would like to see in particular, please let me know. For those of you just tuning in, we've been talking about everything under the sun. Red is a $5.99 block and appears to basically never had the bracket and is still fine. And that's good. I would just worry about it because yeah. Dexter has a piece casting missing out of the starter. Yeah, see, that's what I worry about. Looking how Loctite it is, and so far so good. Yeah, and at that point, that's just about your only option besides finding somebody who can weld cast iron. But for those of you just tuning in, hi, hello, been a while. How was your Saturday or Sunday? Oh, I gotta go back to work tomorrow. Anybody? So another thing with working the job that I do is I work all holidays, which sucks. Yeah. So Christmas is Thanksgiving. It sucks. Where if I was at YouTube, I could just take time off whenever the fuck I want. But here we are. So yeah, I gotta work Memorial Day. Cat's getting eaten alive over there. Hate that for them. Neighbors worried about the cat. But yeah, how's y'all Sunday going? It's pretty good. It's been overcast. It's kind of cool today. Hope y'all are having an awesome weekend, and thank you for tuning into the spontaneous live stream that has been going on for 2 hours now. And I did say that I was going to be doing more live streams this year, which second live stream of the year, doing pretty good. Halfway through the year, but doing pretty good. And then we're going to be starting a 6.5 build, so the absolute next video that will be coming up is the suspension on this thing. Making this thing a rolling chassis is the absolute next obstacle, and that is a full in-depth detail video of how the suspension works, how it all goes together. I'm going to be adding some overload springs to the rear, cleaning up the differential, cleaning up all the parts, and installing the Rough Country 6 lift kit that was on the Smash Crew cab. 6.5s all around. Question for y'all. Has there been, or is there a project that you would have liked me to continue, or would like me to continue in full detail? Is there anything you wished that I had gone into further detail with? I've been getting a lot. I do read everybody's comment on all of my videos. And I see comments such as, like, thank you for going into detail. You explain things very clearly. There have also been those comments of, like, you just jabber on and don't shut up. And it's like, I don't, people are going to hate on everything you do, but I try to go into detail with everything. So even somebody who's never done it before can grasp the idea. Is there anything that I missed on any projects that y'all wished I had gone into a little further detail on? And the reason why I ask that is because it makes me a better teacher, I guess. I don't strive to be a teacher, but I just need to know if there's anything or how I can go into further detail, or if you guys would like me to back off somehow to make my videos more entertaining to y'all. What would you rather see, kind of deal? Or if there was a project that you wished I went into further detail on, so I can better that for the future. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Let's read the comments. Okay. I missed a bunch of comments. Okay. Oren, yeah. Luckily I'm retiring Oren, yeah. Oh, happy Memorial Day, brother. I appreciate it. I still gotta go into work, but yeah. Woohoo! Needed a motor, so my 6.5 came from ambulance. It was a pain to make the inside mount turbo. Yeah. Yeah. The center mount turbo is not fun. Van heads work fine, but most efficient Quadstar sells a new conversion plenum. Yep. Have you heard any reviews on it? I have not heard any reviews on it personally. Something has happened here. Yeah. Okay. Is it back to normal? Is it back to normal? Fixed. Okay. I stored an 8262 Detroit GMC Sierra. Once I bought it, had enough saved. I plan on getting a 6-inch lift, chrome draw, rear bumper, cab lights, a different exhaust. Nice. Keep the teaching aspect for sure, but I'm sure you can find ways to make it more entertaining. Yeah, but it will stay on the old rally rims with 635s once everything is completed. Yeah, we need to get more of the younger generations interested in the trade. So I agree, but with today, it's really hard. Um, so I'm going to teach Presley, which is my daughter's name. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that, but that is my daughter's name. Um, everything I know. And I'm as far as making videos, I'm going to be in as detailed as possible to try and educate those who don't know or just starting out. Everything that I know and want to build this 6.5 as best as I can and get them interested. A lot of problems nowadays is people do not want to put in the work themselves. And that's tough because that's a generational thing. Like the way I was explained is that the older generation is supposed to teach the younger generation to set them up for success and continue that process. So if the older the problem with it is that, especially from like what I've viewed in the past, is the older generation doesn't want to give up their tidbits or shortcuts or little bits of information because it's their job security. They don't care if the other guy fails, so long as they can hold on to their job. And this is coming from a dealership background. Like, I worked at a dealership straight out of fucking high school, and the older guys didn't want to tell the younger guys shit, which doesn't better them at all. It makes them even more useless. So you have to have a drive in order to learn it learn it yourself, and a lot of drive is lost. Just keep doing what you're doing. Your detailed knowledge, videos to learn almost from. I thank you. So like I try my best to show everybody to the best of my abilities what goes into this. And I know I'm a small platform, guys. Like I don't consider myself an expert on anything. I'm a professional diesel mechanic. Like, that is my job, to work on diesels all fucking day long. Primarily big rigs, trucks, 18-wheelers, so on and so forth. And I've been doing it professionally since 2015. So to get somebody interested in something is really hard to do when the job isn't a glamorous job or anything like that. And uh, it's really difficult when somebody gets discouraged to get them back into, got this, I can do this. So my videos are to help influence people to tear their shit apart and put it back together the right way. And I mean, that's just a small aspect, of course, but you know, a lot of things have been failed for the new generation, and they don't want to do nothing, and they don't want to work, and they want everything handed to them. Well, that's not their fault. That's their upbringing's fault. Like, it was somebody's job to get them interested in something or show them, like, hey, here's a cool new thing to do. Grab a welder and start laying some beads, see if you like it. Or here's a couple wrenches. Go tear this fucking lawnmower apart and just see what's inside. You know, that's how I learned. Is I bought four-wheelers and dirt bikes and started tearing them apart with Grampy's tools. And I had the drive enough to say, oh, that's how that fucking works. And then I started reading manuals, and I hate fucking reading, but I did it anyways. And if you don't have a drive, then it's hard to get somebody interested in what you're doing. So that's my stance on it. And I hate it for people. I would love for everybody to find a drive or their passion and go after it and not sink themselves into thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, and just be a career student. Like, I graduated high school in 2015, and then I went to college. I finished college. I got my certificate um, of completion, but at the time I was working for a dealer, and I was learning more at the dealer than I was at the school at the time, because it was very curriculum based. It was slow paced, and I don't say I know everything, but at the time, um, I would rather somebody, you know, pick something that they are genuinely interested in and follow that dream no matter what, versus not knowing what they're going to do outside of high school and then just continue to go to school, racking up fucking debt that you don't need, and all of a sudden, oh, I want to be a mechanic, so I'm going to spend $20,000 on a toolbox and another $5,000 on fucking tools, and then after 2 years hate their life and sell it for, you know, pennies on the dollar. I would much rather somebody. I wish they started trade schools earlier in high school to kind of show people like the opportunities that they have, instead of being career students and racking up debt and just being miserable for the rest of their lives. So if I can sway anybody, and show them like just keeping this old shit alive is interesting to somebody, well, that that's all I could do. I'm just an idiot fucking building gutless trucks. That's all I'm doing. God. Okay. Some of you have commented. I want to read them. You need to get more of the younger generation interested in young. Exactly. It's based on the selfishness. Agreed. Everybody's looking out for their own skin, and you should to an extent, but like, look out for other people as well. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. You're giving great detail and knowledge in your videos. Learned a lot from your channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. If they worked as a team, all parties would be better off. Agreed. Couldn't tell you how many times I was yelled at for not putting father's tools away. Yeah. Seems I found that you and I have the same passion towards helping the younger generation, and overall helping the less fortunate, instead of telling them that I had to pay for said knowledge. So spit on your for asking for no. Agreed. So my deal is, if you're not willing to help yourself, then why should I help you? Kind of deal. But you help me help you. If you want my help, I have no problem. And I'll give you an example. I'll give everybody an example. Somebody gets a hold of me excuse me, somebody gets a hold of me and just messages, hey, my truck's acting funny. Do you know what's going on with it? And then I start asking questions. Do you have any codes? What's it doing? How's it running funny? When does it happen? Is it only when it's cold, when it's hot? And I get the I get the response of, I don't know, it's just not like running right. Like, you have given me no information other than it runs like dog shit, and I'm supposed to try and figure out what the fuck is going on when you won't give me any info. That doesn't help me. So that's why I always ask, are there any codes? When does it start acting up? Does it always act up? Does it do it when it's hot or when it's cold? Or will it start? Will it not start? Versus somebody that says, hey, I got code here. It does it when it's hot. It won't fire back up after it's come up to temp. It's like, okay, there's a little bit of information. You're willing to give me that. So, like, I will go through the diagnostic process with you. And I have no problem with that. But if you're just, and then, with the first case scenario, like, they get mad at me because I don't immediately know what the fuck is going on with their truck. And it's like, dude, you didn't give me any info to go off of to try and help you figure it out. If you want me to work on it, then bring your damn truck here and I'll fucking fix it for you. And voila, you'll have a running truck. You probably won't like the bill, but voila, it's fixed. But don't get mad at me because I can't figure out, hey, my truck's acting funny. I mean, help me help you. That's all I ask. I have no problem helping anybody out. My nose is running. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. I mean, seriously. It's been going on for almost 2.5 hours. Y'all have just been in and out and commenting. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sticking around after months of me not posting anything, but I'm going to develop a new schedule to where it works for me and it works for family life, and you guys can continue to watch what I've been doing. So I appreciate it. But yeah, I feel like that's a big issue, is just, nobody wanted to give up the secrets because it jeopardizes their job, and I get that, I do, but and I saw it, a lot of the old timers didn't want to give up their secrets. It's like, dude, you have 2 years to fucking retire. Give the info up. But no, they're under the impression of like, well, this, and I saw it too. It was like they send, the company would send this guy to go get schooled to be a master tech at this specific, engine or whatever. Oh, I'm CAT certified. Oh, I'm Detroit certified, whatever. And that's all. That's great. If an employer is willing to do that for you, then by all means, take the opportunity. And I get job security, but if you are like on your way out and ready to fucking retire, how about giving up some of the information? I mean, if you got 2 years to retire, they're not going to send you out for fucking Detroit certs again. That's my deal. That, and what is it worth to you when you're not turning wrenches anymore? Nothing. I mean, maybe that's just me. Trying to help you guys with your 6.5s as much as I can, because a lot of the old timers aren't willing to give up the info, which means nothing, by the way, because 6.5s, as far as like modern diesels go, 6.5 is pretty well on the tail end, on its way out. Like, yeah, there's aftermarket companies still keeping them around, but there's nothing new and exciting happening with them. Like, oh, fucking, if I keep this information myself, I'll have all the fucking work I could ever want on them. Well, yeah, but then the majority of people that buy 6.5s, let's put this into perspective. The majority of people who buy 6.5s are buying them because they're a cheap alternative to getting into the diesel world. Plain and simple. Whether, you know, it's your first diesel, or you're interested in them, or you've owned them before and you sold it and you regret it and you just want one back, whatever the case may be. What is it worth to some fucking 60-year-old nowadays who's got all the info on 6.5s and is just hanging on to it for dear life? Like, this is my ticket to retirement. Come on. I could go on a tangent, but I believe that at like age 55 you should retire from your career and have to be a teacher, professor for 10 years or something. I do and I don't. I do and I don't agree with that, because it's one of those things, like, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. And teaching is more or less out of the kindness of somebody's heart, because teachers don't get paid worth shit. So, and I also believe that, you know, people should be able to retire younger than what they're retiring at now. I mean, just inflation and everything is just so blown out of fucking proportion in the U.S. It's unreal, and our dollar is becoming worth less, and it doesn't help any scenario. An option to your retirement money. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. So I'm gonna give you guys all the information I have regardless. It doesn't hurt me in any way to hang on to that. Keep it for myself. Enough, it could probably be part-time. Agreed. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna show you guys everything I possibly can on 6.5s and the suspension and everything else. Like, what YouTuber has gone into, like, putting a leaf pack together. I'm sure there are videos out there, but as far as the GMT 400 stuff, like, each individual part, it's gonna be a long video, don't get me wrong. Hope y'all are prepared for that, as far as like the suspension install. It's not going to be a short video. It can't be, and I'm not going to cut it up into 2 parts or anything like that. It is going to be one video, how to install all of the suspension components, and also how to install the 6-inch rough country lift. Like, it's going to be one big video. It's going to be a while, because there are a lot of parts that I have to obtain, because I'm not going back with stock. I would also like to get traction bars. I would also like to get tie rods, stronger tie rods. That being said, and replace all the bushings, stuff like that. So it's going to be a long video, but it's going to be so in depth that anybody can grasp whatever part they're trying to look at. Plus, you have all the younger teachers who have to get summer jobs while older retired people who do so part-time summer. Yeah. So, still need to price everything out because at the very end of all of this oh, Jesus, I wish I'd quit kicking that. At the very end of all of this, I'm gonna have a price parts layout of the entire truck and see if it was even worth it. So, to me, it's gonna be worth it. I don't care what anybody says, but yesterday was at work and I was running the weight scale. Absolutely chaos. People were here and there, and we're like 4 people behind, back to back at a time. Then during lunch, 2 people at the scale. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Is a lot of people nowadays are very selfish, but. For a straight hour, I had a good amount of people. It didn't mind it too much. Yeah. So, a lot of people are. And to conclude this rant, yeah, a lot of people are selfish. That's just the way it is. A lot of people don't care. And that's what sucks. You know, I would hate, um, you know, if I missed something, I would expect somebody to say, "Hey, do you mind going into further detail on that or anything like that?" Because you know, I'm no teacher by any means, but I can show you. I can show you something. If you have questions, I can try. Let's see. I got a lot of. Cannot wait for that video as I'm going to be doing the cab swapping and stuff and will help substantially. Are you considering installing kryptonite steering components? Yes. If you could be somewhat in depth with the wiring, electrical, also that would need it most. Yes, I can do that. Congrats, man. Hope the best for you and your family. Thank you. Family's getting bigger. We got another one on the way, and we need to get crew cabs. So if you're just tuning into this video or this live stream, hi, welcome. Good to see you again. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. We will be selling the wife's extended cab dualies, so if you're interested in that, just reach out. I got a few things to fix. But that will be going up for sale, and the wife is wanting to get a newer Power Stroke because she's a Ford girl at heart. So yeah, and then eventually we might be selling the extended cab. Either once this one is done, or I buy another truck. So another one. Son. Yep, I hope so. I mean, I just hope that they're happy and healthy for the most part. So, yeah. But yeah, so trying to go all kryptonite steering components if I can find them and I can afford them. I know I believe I can afford them. Um, that video especially will be very in depth. I'll go over from the rear to the truck to the front of the truck, everything. Um, even the overload pads, the overload springs, the spacer blocks, the saddles. I want to get uh, track bars for the rear diff, and then moving forward onto cutting up the frame, how this is like the last leg of like everything you can do until it's like there's no turning back kind of deal, because you do have to cut off the bump stops and there's no getting around that. So as far as the 6-inch rough country lift, installing the diff, what do you have to do to the diff to reinstall it after the because you have to shave some of the fins off of the front diff in order to install the rough country lift. So I want to go in depth with all of that, plus the kryptonite components. Of course, I have I have never really reached out, but I am very interested in finding out what I should do with my 6.5. It's a 92, only 82,000, super low miles. Would like to find out what block I have where I can look. So I can show you right now to find out what block you have. Let's go over it, and I will show you. So super straightforward. I have for you a 6.5 engine underneath a ratchet strap. Okay. So this is the front of the engine. You have your harmonic balancer. You got your water pump, which I thought that was my UCs for a minute. So then you have your intake horn, and then if you look all the way in the back of the engine, this is the number that you'll be looking for, and this will tell you what engine you have. This is a 141 block. It will also sometimes be stamped in the valley. It will just be those three numbers: 141, 509, 599, or I'm sorry, 506, 929 will be the indication of what block you have. So if you run this number, you can find out exactly what assembly line it came off of, what it is block wise, stuff like that, when it was made. That's how to identify your 6.5. Look for that number. Hope that was helpful. Back in the clamp. Excuse me. One of the things I hate about getting older is you start to not care and start to be an a-hole. Agreed. I'm getting to that point. I'm only turning 28 this year, so to some people at times being 15 is kind of sucks. Wish people would understand. I agree. As you get older, you do start to lose faith in people. Remember, there are good people out there. There are a lot of people that are willing to take you for everything you have, and those people can suck ass, but there are good people. Let's continue reading comments. I would love to get with you at some point when you have free time to talk more in depth, but I have a few things to briefly go over that I'm curious about. I have my power steering and brakes going out, both at the same time. I'm curious where you would start and how deep you would go. Okay. So the convenient thing about 6.5s is they utilize a hydro boost system. And typically what that means is the power steering also powers the brakes. You don't have to have vacuum in order for the brakes to work. But that is normal, that the power steering and the brakes both go out at the same time on a 6.5. And where I would start looking would be how much pressure your power steering pump is putting out. I've seen this a couple times. Power steering pump fail, and all of a sudden you don't have brakes, which on a hydro boost system makes sense. Also, can look at power steering gearbox. Not super common that also affects your brakes, because power steering gearbox, if you're still getting pressure from the power steering pump, but then your gearbox is shot, I would bet that it's more than likely your power steering pump or a blockage of some sort, a line getting pinched that isn't allowing it to get the pressure that it needs. That would be my first thing to look for. But I'm getting better and not being an asshole. Talk to more truck people. It's easier to get conversations. Agreed. And that's another thing. Like, you find your passion, you find your drive, you find something that just gets you. And then you find like-minded people. And then the conversation seems to just carry on by itself. You know, you don't need to keep hunting for things to talk about. You always have something in common. Also, my lower intake is from a different block, and I don't know which part is wrong. The block to intake, pointers, where to start. Okay, so first, to find out what's going on with the intake is to see what intake you have and what heads you have. What exactly issues are you running into? Are you having issues with the intake not bolting up to the heads properly, or are you having trouble, like whereabouts are you having trouble? There are two different style heads for 6.5, straight and angled, and they are both in relation to which way the bolts go, like screw into the heads. An angled would be like the way I refer to it, and it's not, everybody gets confused. So if there's a bolt that goes straight into the head, but it's at an angle when you install it, that's a straight head. If the bolts go, if this is your intake in relation to your head, or your intake in relation to your head is angled like a V, and you have your intake slide down, it all relates to which way this bolt goes into the head. So that's the first thing I would identify, and what intake you have. Not lining up, and the previous owner drilled new holes to just make it work temporarily. Ooh. Straight holes, but it looks like they were angled. So somebody put the wrong intake on your heads and now has fucked up the heads, which is fucking cute. God, I love people. Okay. Oh, straight down from the ground, but it looks like they should be angled. So they put the wrong intake. They put the wrong intake on and tried to make it work. when they should have just put the old intake back on or found an angled intake and used the right head. And now they've messed up your heads, and ultimately I'm really sorry to say they messed up your heads, and the only way to properly fix that is to get new heads. And I hate people for that. If you're not going to do it right, don't fucking do it. And I'm not like saying that to you. I'm saying that to the person who fucked it up for you, because now that is completely screwed you up. I'm sorry, man. Why? Like, I don't understand that logic of why the previous owner would have done that. Yes. So new heads. He says if y'all aren't paying attention to the comments, I'm more interested in getting it fixed. So new heads and find the right intake. Yes. I haven't taken them apart yet, but it looks like it's just the intake. Yeah, so get a hold of me at some point. We can talk in further detail about where your previous owner fucked up. But he should have never drilled extra holes for the intake. He should have just put the other intake back on. Heads are just the intake manifold. I'm looking right now. I appreciate your time. No problem. Appreciate you coming and hanging out, man. Air intrusion. You could have just an air pinhole in the line. It could be a plugged filter. Yep, that would make it start for fuel. All new. And all the clamps are for sure tight. How old is the pickup in the tank? Is the filter sock and tank? Yeah, exactly. Cool, you're not thinking the same. Filter sock and tank. Yep. Would definitely cause it. Also, from tank up to motor, all new. Did you unscrew the bleeder screw on filter housing? About to ask the same thing. Yeah, you guys help each other out too. There's also a filter or screen in the fuel shutoff solenoid that can get plugged. That would make it starve for fuel. Typically, you'd think that most of the grime would get caught by the filter, but yeah, any amount of air intrusion would cause it. But if everything's new, then I would suspect no intrusion. Your fuel filter housing can crack. Trapped air, yeah. I'd bleed the shit out of that air system. You can jump your lift pump relay and bleed it that way. Open the fuel screw up at the front of the engine. So if they drilled the intake, could I just get a different lower intake manifold to work with the heads I have, or do I need to go fresh on both? So if they only drilled the intake, you can get just an intake, the right intake. If they drilled into the heads, which I hope they didn't, because that's the last head job that I did that involved me getting 2 new heads because the heads were cracked. It cost me $2,500 to get 2 new heads and do head gaskets and everything else, which like isn't unreasonable, but that's just parts if you have to get new heads. If they only drilled the intake, you're getting lucky and only have to get the new intake. So screen was a pain at first. All new, even the in tank is new. No. Oh, no mechanical. It is mechanical 6.5. So does it just shut off when it's hot, or will it just not start at all? Sounds like I'm starting to tear it down tomorrow and finding out. Yes. Hopefully they only drilled into the intake. And I agree. It could be an injection pump issue. But back to Pink Havoc 448. Hopefully, I hope that they only drilled the intake. That would be great. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to bleed the air sometimes. I agree. As simple as 6.5s are, sometimes they're finicky. Runs, but when you give it fuel, it dies. Has anybody frigged with the timing of the injection pump on this thing? Could be the issue. Yeah, the advanced screw. Yeah. I will have to get with you offline and touch this and get pointers when I can, because I can figure most things out, but I haven't had to do something like this before. Yeah, please get a hold of me. We'll figure it out. If you need a different style intake, depending on what you need, I think I have lower intake manifolds, so it runs fine before you touch the fuel system. Yeah. Getting a vacuum cleaner, opening a fuel cap. I've got 2 mechanical pumps that are rebuilt on my Venture right now. I've been learning a lot. See, I like everybody helping everybody else out. Like, thank you guys in the comments. Like, seriously. You guys are great. Fucking, you guys are going through all the same steps I am. Quick hello from Alaska again. It's been a while. It has been a while, and thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. It's getting dark, so I know the video is getting real grainy, but thank you guys so much for tuning into the live stream and hanging out. It has been a while. I've been going through a lot in the background, but I appreciate you nonetheless sticking around and coming and hanging out. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My chickens ain't with me, so I've gotten nothing but thanks. But yeah, it has been a while. It's a matter that I have the marine heads and injectors in this 6.5 of helping, of course. No, it doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter if everything's timed correctly. Unless your injection pump is just wore out and can't keep up with the fuel demand, then that could be an issue. Seen that a few times. But no, I'm seriously glad that you guys made it to the live stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. Been going on 3 hours now. I'm gonna call it quits here soon. I'm hungry. And this blue raspberry ghost isn't gonna keep me at bay for very much longer. My voice is starting to get raspy. But I appreciate you guys nonetheless for staying with the channel and hanging out. And we are going to be continuing 6.5 stuff here in the future. I swear I will be getting back on some sort of scheduled style videos, even if it's just to talk and hang out with y'all. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I know a bunch of people in the past have said more live streams. So, checking from South Dakota. Yeah, I'll read that. I just want to move so y'all can see me from. Oh, fuck. Oh shit. Oh god. Moving over to the light. There we go. Yeah. Excellent. Yes. I'm at an angle. Why am I at an angle? Because my driveway sucks. That's why. Right there. Okay. Let me read that comment. Love hanging helping, of course. Checking in from South Dakota and been following for a while now, about a year. I appreciate it. Thank you. Honestly, love the content when you can get it with the family life in the background. Yeah, that's honestly the biggest thing. Is, you know, I didn't always have a dad that was there, so you know, I want to be there for my kids. So that's number one for me. But I still want to make content. I would love to turn this into a career someday. But you know, if life just doesn't permit it, then so be it. My family's number one. So what can this be then? If everything is new, going up to the injection pump, and you are stabbing the throttle, and all of a sudden it dies. I would do a fuel pressure test. Yup. Definitely do a fuel pressure test. Make sure you're getting good fuel. Way you can do that is put an inline pressure switch and have somebody watch it while you are fueling it up, like stepping on the accelerator pedal. If it drops significantly, the demand just can't keep up. Is your issue. So potentially you could go with a higher output lift pump. That might solve your issue if you're having a fuel pressure drop. Or if you are maintaining fuel pressure, then just about the only thing that could be happening is injection pump wise. So do a fuel pressure test. You should be maintaining at the very least 6 pounds or 6 psi of fuel pressure. And if it drops below that, when you stab the throttle, then your supply isn't up to par. The fuel filter that the motor drops off. So the pressure at the fuel filter drops off. I could always do a bigger lift pump. See if that takes care of the issue. A Raptor lift pump. Especially if you're using one of the like the old lift pumps, they don't keep up. They're crap. So, have a good night. Thank you. You as well. $300 for Quadstar's lift pump. Agreed. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than what I spent for my lift pump back on the old crushed crew cab. Yep. Because that fast was not cheap. So, yep. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Quadstar lift pumps come in a kit with filters as well. So, seems like a pretty decent deal. But, yeah. I would say either your fuel pressure is not keeping up or your injection pump cannot keep up with demand. I'm back. Yeah, I believe it. Parts are definitely going up in price and have been on the steady incline by fuel lines separately, but I know they have a style design. And yeah, okay. Thank you, Isaac. Yep, that'd be another one to check. Where is this button? Oh, I don't want to do that. This camera rotate. Well, y'all, it has been going on for 3 hours, 9 minutes. I believe I'm going to hop off here and go inside. Go down the road way too much for one. Well, I believe I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Continue to help each other in the comments. And thank y'all so much for all the support, sticking around. all this time that I haven't been recording videos, and I will be sure to get back on making videos. But for tonight, I believe I'm going to call it quits. So, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It was an absolute blast talking with y'all again. And I will catch you guys in the next video. And I'll get back on the old responding to y'all in the comments. Tell the wifey I said hi. I will. Thank you guys. And thank you again. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for hanging out.